Hello, 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 and welcome back to LaserBeam Live. This is episode number 48. And technically it's not actually live, but you know the deal. My name is Ikenna for CNC Labs, and whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I appreciate you spending just a little bit of your time with me. Hopefully this will be going out live, and I may or may not be in the chat right now, just like we did a few months ago. If you remember when I took a trip out to the LightBurn experience, we pre-recorded the live just like we're doing right now, but I was able to get into the chat in some random McDonald's outside of Chicago. So hopefully the same thing is happening. I am currently on vacation, but hopefully you guys get to watch this and have some fun, learn a few things, and I will catch you in 2 weeks actually live. So let's just get right into it. This is going to be a pretty short live. I'm just going to be going through a LightBurn tutorial that I was watching, and I thought it was pretty cool. And so I figured, why not give it a try? I haven't really done any complex LightBurn design stuff. We've tried before, but we'll see how this one goes. So just for reference, I am referencing the Louisiana Hobby Guy. So this is a creator on YouTube that makes CNC laser and all sorts of DIY videos and tutorials. I believe he was actually in our chat one time, so shouts out to him, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. And the video is called LightBurn 301 Complex Shapes and Vectors in Seconds. And he goes through how to copy and paste a bunch of simple vectors and shapes. And then using the array tool, we can make these cool infinite kind of designs by just multiplying our original design into like this circular array. It creates these really cool engravable designs. We're gonna try one out, see if we can get through what we learned, and then see if we can do an engraving. So again, this one's gonna be a quick one. I actually fly out later today, so unfortunately, as much as I love the LaserBeam Live, it's not as interesting as a beach and a cold drink. So I'm gonna try to be quick with this one, but hopefully we both learn something. So let's jump right into it. Let me just open up LightBurn so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Oh, sorry, 1 second, guys. Okay, there we go. So we are all good over here. Let's grab, so first we're just gonna grab a simple vector. So we can take this polygon or create regular polygon. And we're gonna read the instructions when we hover. So shift plus drag to width and height, control plus drag to create from the center. So I'll just do that. And then I'm actually gonna go to shape properties. So that tab is over here. And I'm gonna make the width and the height the same. All right. I'm then going to copy and paste. So I gotta click the cursor. I'm gonna go copy, paste, and I'm gonna use the arrow keys to scroll this down. And I'm just gonna be lining things up. So I'm gonna line things up like that, okay? So we'll scroll in. This is close enough. So I'm then going to copy and paste again, and I'm gonna line things up the exact same way here. So I'm just using the cursor up, down to move it. You can also drag and snap. You can also do coordinates to get it perfectly where you want it. But right now, this is the easiest way for me. I like that. So I'm gonna grab another shape. So let's grab a circle. And I'm going to change the height and the width to be the same so we're nice and symmetrical. And then again, I'm going to select it and we're just going to move this down. And I'm going to align it right about there. And then I'm going to copy and paste, and I'm going to move it just the opposite side. So this is an example of just something that looks weird right now. I'm going to see if I can drag it into a more accurate place where I want it, just right about there. Try to align it generally. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so this shape looks weird and not complex, right? But in the tutorial, all we have to do is select everything here. So I just dragged over everything, and then we click this array tool. So it's this, on the left panel, it's this picture with a bunch of shapes in a circular panel, and one of the shapes is highlighted black, okay? So we're just gonna click that, and we see this very complex array, and we can adjust things like copy, so it gets more and more complex. All right, and I'm gonna go with 15, okay? So let's press OK. Let's move this out of the way so that we can just select our array here. All right, so that's array number 1. And I'm gonna click preview just to show you guys. Oh, it's a lot of line data, so it's taking just a second. Hopefully our LightBurn doesn't crash. Oh, okay, so we got the panel over here. So as you can see, we get this cool engraving design. I'm gonna exit, I'm gonna go to cut and layers. Yes, so we're at fill. So another thing he was able to do is I'm actually gonna click on these circles. I'm gonna go back to shape properties, and I'm actually gonna power scale this down to 50. So everything else has a power scale of 100, but I'm scaling this down to a power scale of 50. And then we're gonna do the same exact thing. So I'm gonna select, I'm gonna click array. Actually gonna click 18 this time. And then I'm gonna move my original shape out of the way. All right, and we're gonna select all of this, and we are going to click preview. Yeah, so as you can see, it's quite a cool little design that's going on here. And I'm gonna try one more time, but I'm actually gonna put this thing in the middle. I'm going to power scale that to 30. And then same thing, I'm gonna select, I'm gonna make an array, and we're gonna put about 18 again. And we're gonna move this out of the way. And we're gonna select this. And we're gonna hit preview. All right. So we can show shading according to power. And then I'm gonna remove the moves. So yeah, we get these really cool complex designs, and obviously you guys can play with the settings here, but that is pretty much the gist, okay? That was easy, nice and simple. Now let's just get these things engraved, and we'll take a look. Okay, so I'm gonna exit this one, and then we'll do a second one. Actually, let's keep this one, because this is the more complex shading. We'll get rid of this one, and then we'll come back and we'll do another one, and then that will be it. Quick, easy little stream. Again, this was a tutorial by the Louisiana hobby guy. And again, the video is called LightBurn 301, Complex Shapes and Vectors in Seconds. And he was not lying, because that only took a few seconds to get done. So my material is about 50 millimeters by 70 millimeters. So I'm just going to move this to, or sorry, not position, but size. I want to be 50. Whoop. Let's lock the dimensions, and then let's change that to 50. And then let's put that at 0, 0. All right, so now we can export that. And we will go to, we will save this as Complex Shape version 1. All right. Now we'll go to GSender. We'll load that file. All right, looks good. I will change my camera view so you guys can see it. And I'm already lined up and I'm already in focus. I'm already zeroed out on GSender. So I'm kind of ready to go, but I'll turn on my test light right there so you guys can see. Hopefully you guys can see that. Maybe I'll move this in a little bit. All right. So I'm ready to go. I'm just gonna start my job. And again, guys, we're still running with the magnetic mount, and we're running on the honeycomb bed. I did order a sample of an air pump. That's 30 liters per minute, which is usually around the airflow for these types of small laser pro air assist kits, right? So I'm gonna get that in, and then we'll start 3D modeling a nozzle design. And then once we have all that, then we can get some prototypes made out of aluminum or steel or whatever we choose. And then we should be good to go. We'll at least have, and then we'll start shipping some samples of the honeycomb bed, and then boom, we have the magnetic mount, our honeycomb bed, and our air assist. So working on that. So I'm gonna go back to my LightBurn here. I'm actually maxing out the speed, so technically I could run this way slower for a much darker engraving. So I had it at 150, but you know, the long mill only goes up to 66. So even though I set it at 150, it's only engraving at a max of about, or this one technically it's SLB, so it goes 5,000 millimeters per second. So technically that was my max, but I'll set it a bit slower for this next one. I'll flip the material and I'll rerun this one, and then we can start working on our next one using different shapes to see what we can get out of this. So I'll resave this, and I'll call this Complex Shapes version 1.2, and we'll rerun this one on the other side of the material, and then for our second piece, we will create something new. Oh, and the power's at 20%, so technically, let's go, let's see how dark we can get with, let's go 80%. Not going 100% on this one. Sorry, I'm just gonna resave this as 1.2, override it. Okay, so now I can get rid of this, and we're gonna start over. So I'm gonna start with a square, and I'm gonna go back to properties so I can change that. 34 by 34. Make sure it's nice and symmetrical. And then I'm gonna click the cursor button. I'm going to copy, paste, and I'm gonna use the arrows and drag this over a bit. All right, and then I'm going to copy again, and I'm going to drag that over just a bit. And then I'm going to copy one last time. Yeah, okay, this looks pretty simple, but I'm curious to see what it's going to look like once we do an array. So I'm going to mess with the power scaling on this as well. So this one can get scaled to 50%. And then this one on the other end can get scaled to 50%. And then we'll select everything here. We'll do the array. We'll do some more here. Okay. 25. Click OK. Push this out of the way. We will preview this. And hey, looks like we got this really cool design. I actually think the boxes over here are a little bit cooler, so maybe we can play with that. Maybe we can even do a non-circular array. Maybe we can do the maybe we can do this, because I actually like this design a little bit better. So maybe we can do that with 0 spacing. And then maybe we can we'll do 3 by 3. And I actually really like that. I think that looks really cool. So I'm going to flip this over and rerun the new file, which is running slower with more power, because I'd like to see that first design a little bit darker. So 1 second, let's flip over. We will load this one right here. And then we'll just run that again while we finish up. So I really like this. I think this is gonna look really cool. So let's click on preview. I think this looks really cool. There's a cool little weird, looks like a weird 70s modern art design. Let's scale this down to 50 millimeters. And then let's put this at 0, 0, our grid. And then let's go over and let's save this G code as complex shapes version 2. All right. So now we got this design running, and now it's a lot darker, as you can see. And then we're ready for our next design, which we'll put on the piece next to it. And that's gonna be it. So I'm just kind of showing you the beginning, how to get started with this tool. But guys, again, you can go over to the Louisiana Hobby Guys YouTube channel. He has this tutorial kind of all laid out, and that's where I learned this from. So if you guys want to learn more, you guys want to watch this tutorial, go ahead. It's called LightBurn 301 Complex Shapes and Vectors in Seconds. Definitely worth a watch. Definitely check out his channel for more LightBurn tips and tricks. And yeah, we're gonna let this run, and then we'll take a look at both of them. So I'll run both of them, and then we'll take a look at both of them once it's done. And that's about it. I'm sorry this is a shorter live stream, but yeah, it's just not as fun when I don't have to chat and I'm not interacting with you guys. Of course, doing a project is cool. I learned something today. Hopefully you learned something today. But I'm very excited to get back, and we can get back to the regular lives where we actually get to interact. So yeah, so now it's just a waiting game at this point. Usually when I'm waiting, I'm usually talking to you guys. I'm usually reading chat, but now I'm just kind of waiting here. We could do some updates on the oatmeal. So the oatmeal is getting ready to ship. I think we're gonna put out the first set of 10 this coming week, and then we'll scale it up to get the first set of 50, and then, you know, when the spindles come in over the summer, over the next little bit. Spindles for the set batch number 2 will come in, and we'll start shipping that. Production, testing, assembly, boxing, it's all done. It's all being handled. The branding, we got our alt mill t-shirts in. If you guys check out our social media, you've seen those posts. Got our engineer testing the spindle with the long mill. It's not complete. I know a lot of you guys have been asking. We have completed testing, obviously, with the spindle and the alt mill. That was priority. So right now, we're trying to play catch up by testing the spindle with the long mill, because I know a lot of you guys want to use the spindle with the long mill, and we will only tell you it's compatible once we've completed very thorough testing. So until that happens, we're kind of like, you know, it works perfectly with the alt mill, and the alt mill SLB, the EXT SLB, was built off the regular SLB, you know, so it should have the same kind of, we should have the same kind of output as that, but we have to test it. We have to make sure. So that's exciting. So we got another couple minutes. We're about halfway done on this. And then we'll run part 2 of this, and then we will call it a day. Hopefully you guys have a good evening. I might be in the chat. I might not be in the chat. We'll find out. Bear with me, guys. I honestly think this is really cool. It's an easy way to make super custom designs, super unique designs, because, you know, unless somebody matches the exact same, uses the exact same polygons and the exact same formation, and using the exact same number of copies in an array, you're going to get something that's pretty unique, but also very simple to make. You're not going to be like, you know, racking your brain for a design, but you can make this really cool image really quickly. So definitely a useful LightBurn trick. Should be finishing up in the next couple minutes. You know, what happens if we start rounding edges? I'm curious. Let's throw a square there. Oh, sorry. Let's show what I'm doing here. So let's see if we can round edges and then duplicate to make an even more intricate design. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Let's copy and paste that. Let's copy again. One more time for good luck. And let's move that a little bit. All right. Let's take that. Let's see how it looks with a circular array. Oh, that's like a classic, you know, Fibonacci petal system. Looks pretty cool. Okay, I like that. So let's also do that. Let me size that. And then let's do this as a, see how it looks with an array, a rectangular array, 0 spacing. Yeah, doesn't look as cool. All right, so let's go ahead back to GSender. Let's move this over. Let's find our 0 again. So let's 0 it all there. Let's open up our new file, version 2. And let's run this. And then once this is done, we'll flip it over and we'll do this final little pedal design. So I'm actually gonna go back. And I'm gonna change the power scaling. So let's change that to 50. And then let's do the same thing. Let's do the array. Okay. Move this out of the way. Let's preview this. Okay. Let's try that again. This is set to 50. Let's set this outer one to 50. And then let's do it again. Circular array. That's okay. Let's move this out of the way. And let's go to preview. Okay, this one looks a little bit more interesting. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's lower this a little. Let's make this a little bit smaller. And then let's put that at 0, 0. And let's make sure everything's good there. And then let's save that as complex shape. Version 3. All right, so this will be the last one after this, and then we're done. Made 3 different styles, and I think they all look pretty cool. We'll see which one you guys like the most. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. I know I won't be able to see it right now, but you guys can actually type in the chat 1, 2, 3, which one you guys like the most. Once you guys actually see it. So wait till it's all done. This one's gonna finish up. I'm gonna run one more and then that's it. Let's see how this one's coming out. Make this larger so you guys can see. You guys can see how it's coming out. Doesn't look too bad. Almost done, just a couple more minutes. I think next time I want to try making a photo frame, like a frame for a photo. I want to try making one of those. That's something I haven't tried before. It'd be cool to come up with like a quick, easy design. You can have a little, 5x7 photo. Something that can mount on the wall, something that could have a little stand on it. You guys can let me know in the chat if you guys are interested in that. I will, even if I'm not in the chat live right now, I will come back and watch the chat, get yours answer. So don't even worry. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next live stream. I know we said we would do a vortex because we haven't done a vortex project with the laser since we launched. So yeah, just let me know. This one's finishing up. Another minute on this one, and then we'll load our final job. Don't forget to like this video, like the stream. I know somebody always reminds me, but this time I remember. Do not forget. Go over to Louisiana the Hobby Guys channel, like his stuff. Let him know that CNC Lab sent you guys over there. Definitely check out some of his videos when you guys are done here. Definitely a solid resource for LightBurn, laser, and CNC projects, so definitely check that out. Let him know that the guys at CNC Labs sent some people over to show some love because we appreciate his tutorials, and hopefully you guys do too. So definitely like this stream and then go over to his page and like his up when you're done here. All right, this is finishing up. We're gonna load the new project. There we go. Hit close. Gonna version 3. I'm actually gonna override the speed to go a little bit faster. So just gonna align. Now we're pretty much still aligned. All right, make sure we're all zeroed. We're gonna run this, but we're actually gonna run it a lot faster. All right, there we go. We're running this at max speed with the magnetic mount, 5,000 millimeters per minute. So you don't actually need to change anything on your long mill to get access to the higher speeds. So the original long mill with the original long mill controller, the MK1 or the MK2 with the original long board, will only reach about 4,000 millimeters per minute, which is about 66 millimeters per second. But because of the SLB, I have the SLB running on this one, we're able to hit 5,000 millimeters per minute, which I believe is roughly probably around like 80 something millimeters per second. So we're taking advantage of that upper end of the speed We're taking advantage of the higher quality signal coming out of the SLB versus the, the, the actual signal for the laser coming out of the original longboard. So we actually do get a more powerful laser because the signal is a bit more stable and more powerful. Yeah, so just another reason to check out the SLB. The alt mill will have its own version of the SLB, a more beefed up version of the SLB, the EXT SLB. I know, we're so creative with all these acronyms and letter sequences. So let's watch this one finish, and then you guys will let me know which one you guys like the most. 1, 2, or 3. These are all super simple to make. You watch me make them in like a couple minutes flat, and hopefully you guys get to make some really cool stuff out of it. Honestly, I really like this magnetic mount. I think it's totally fine. I'm gonna keep running it to keep getting some testing hours under it, especially at max speed, because that's where I wanna see if we're gonna see any movement, right? But I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's time to start ordering all the parts, start producing this in at least a batch of 300. I feel like you guys will sell out about 300 of these very, very easily, very quickly. So I think we'll start with a batch of 300. We'll get some steel studs, some threaded studs. We'll get an extra order of our magnets, and then we'll get some inserts, and then we'll start 3D printing them out itself and putting them together, getting some boxes for it. Very cool, very interesting. About a minute left. All right. Just finishing up here. All right. All done. All right. Now you guys can be the judge of which one you like more, and then you guys can go out there and make some of your own. I think this was a really cool, simple project that looked really cool. So I'm very happy this one worked out. All right, let me get this thing in focused for you guys. All right, we'll start with pattern number 1. So there you go. So the way you design it is going to create these like little gaps. So if I shifted around some shapes, it probably would have closed that gap. So you guys can take a look at that. Looks all cool, all weird, all psychedelic. Very cool, very cool. And then this is number 2. This one's probably my favorite. Looks very cool, very modern design, very 80s, 70s modern design. Very, very cool. And then this is the last one, number 3. Just a very simple circular petal pattern. Again, there's probably a way I could have changed the design to help this thing fill out. Sorry, that's my phone. Yeah, there's probably a way I could have changed the design to have this corner fill out. But for now, this looks really nice, looks really cool. That's 3. So You guys let me know which one, two, or three was your favorite. You guys can type in the chat, and then you guys are gonna like the stream. You guys are gonna go to the Louisiana Hobby Guy and go ahead and like some of his videos, comment on the stuff, let him know that the guys at CNC Labs sent you over there. Watch some of his tutorials, learn some more things, and then that's it. So I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna go back to getting ready to catch my flight. I'm gonna have a nice little vacation. I still will be available while I'm away, getting some work done, doing some design on the LaserBeam, the CO2 laser. That one will never stop. I think our timeline is definitely pushed back just because of the focus our company had to take on the alt mill, but nonetheless, we're pushing the project forward, and we'll keep you guys updated in a new video, probably sometime mid-July, update on the LaserBeam and what we're working on there, update to the timeline and all that fun stuff. So I will catch you guys later. You guys know the deal. My name is Ikenna for CNC Labs, and whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I appreciate you spending just a little bit of your time with me. I will catch you guys in 2 weeks. LaserBeam Live number 48. We're getting real close to 2 years, and then I think we're gonna end this, and it's gonna turn into something new. We're gonna figure something out, probably something CO2 laser related, LaserBeam, maybe LaserBeam Live, but we'll figure out the shape of this thing. But we are gonna hit 2 years, just because I personally would love that. I think it's really cool. Even when I'm flying or when I'm figuring stuff out, I'm still able to pre-record these things. That's something I'm very proud of, because I just want to make sure I get these out to you every other Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, LaserBeam Live. Ever since we announced that, it's something I wanted to stay kind of stable on, make sure that I'm always here producing that content, and I've been able to do that. So it's going to be exciting to hit the 2-year mark, and we're going to change some things up. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a good evening. Take care.